Okay, fair enough. He asked about therapsids, and he asked about I don't know if he mentioned synodonts or synapsids or any of those things. But correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going back a little bit. We're therapsids. We're synodonts, right? Humans fall into that category. Okay, so let me make sure before I ask him that so if he knows these
therapsids
things,
were way therapsids were way earlier. Therapsids are the original reptile mammal transition.
Okay, right. Okay. So if he's talking about therapsids and synapsids, and you don't even know the difference between those two or the human categories of any kind, what do you think you're able to look at the information? You're able to read these things. You're able to see these words, and you can't attach anything to them. When you see therapsid, this is what I hate about paleontology and all that stuff. They have hard words, even though I don't know what they mean, but pronouncing them is ridiculous. Therapsids. Mm-hmm. How do you when you see that word written down somewhere, how do you know how to interpret it when you have no idea what the word even means? And then you're questioning him who has went to
that's a classic tactic they use. The thing is, some like Trevor here, to make themselves
a classic tactic.
All these big scientific words that.
Well, that doesn't answer the question. That doesn't answer the question. People could make up these words. Let's assume they're made up. All words are made up to some degree.
I think you guys are misinterpreting what I'm saying.
But
I'm not saying every giant was hold on. I'm not saying every giant was a human. I know giants were all different kinds of species. They had all kinds of far-fetched like things in the movie 300, things like that. I mean, half man, half animal, because the
I'm going to try to ask this one more time. I'm going to try to ask this one more time. Dan, I'm going to try to ask this one more time. When you see words like mammal transition, when you see synodonts, when you see synapsids, when you see therapsids, when you see the types of periods, right? The Cretaceous period and all these technical names, right? Even I have a hard time pronouncing. When you see them, when you're reading something, how do you associate with anything to them if you don't know what these words at all mean in any context?
First of all, why would I need to know the words when you could see them clear as day? You know. Just by looking at that, do I need to know that terminology?
Yes.
Well, yeah, if you want to talk about it, you do. That's the whole point. That's
what he's trying to say.
I can't pronounce the terminology, but I'm aware of it.
It's a tactic to draw me into that realm, knowing I damn well I don't know those words or could pronounce it to save my life. And you do that specifically to draw people into that realm. So this way it makes you look like the superior and the person look like the inferior. I couldn't say those words.
I am the superior.
Well, he is the superior, but here's
you don't need to know this,
Don,
okay?
Dan,
this is what you need to know right there.
My point to you, Dan.
This is superior.
Oh my God!
Right there. My point to you is very simple, and I think Trevor will agree with this wholeheartedly. The point is, if you're going to be reading something and you don't even have the prerequisite skills to understand the terminology in any context, you can therefore not credibly judge or evaluate what you're reading. You have no skill set to do so in any context. It doesn't matter if it's science or any other topic. When I'm reading a paper, like in philosophy, I happen to know a little bit about the words, so I can read it in context. If I go to something like biochemistry, I'm lost as shit. I have no idea what the hell they're talking about. I'm going to be like, hey, Cy, help me out here, because I have no idea what's going on. You have to have a basis to understand what you're reading. You admit you know nothing about these topics. You admit these words are foreign to you. They mean
those words to save my life. And
you don't know.
At the top of the show, you admitted that you had no fucking training, no clue, no concept of this shit.
Right, and so that's just my point that I wanted to bring to your attention. That's all.
I didn't say that.
Then what's a therapsid? What's the reptile mammal transition? What's the difference between a diapsid and a synapsid?
What are the 7 sacred sciences? I could go down that road too. What are the 7 sacred sciences?
No, that has nothing to do with evolution.
No, it has a lot to do with it, because what I preach is truth.
No, it doesn't.
Is life, plain and simple. That has a lot to do with it. No. And you can't sit there and say, oh, because it was whatever, a mastodon, whatever. Giants were not just humans, okay? The giants had many, many species. Some of them were up to 20 plus feet tall. These things were around all over the place, like stuff you see out of the movie 300, where you call Greek mythology. There's nothing mythological at all, except they were gods. They were fallen angels and their offspring called the Nephilim. There was a perverted bloodline to distort, so Jesus would never come on the planet in the future at the time. That's why they corrupted the bloodline. That's why God destroyed the earth, not because he hated humanity, because the fallen angels and the seed of Cain corrupted the bloodline of Adam. That's why. And things like you could not possibly believe walk this earth. They find underground caverns. Okay, again, now you see TV, the Midnight Ride, they did a big show on it.
Caverns.
Underground, like you could fit tens of thousands of people, ancient, that predate the American Indians, found underground. These remains found all the time, but it's heavily covered up all the time.
Well, we're hitting we're hitting almost
where the
close
fuck
to.
Did all that come from?
Close to 2 hours, and we'll be having
where it all come from, because you don't know it, you don't understand it, because you're so much so much brainwashed with the garbage lies you learn from evolution.
Yeah.
No,
well,
I think you need to go back to
shut up, Dan. Here's a surprise.
That's what you need to
I think I could name 4 of the 7 sciences actually. It's like antediluvian masonry, right? That's what you're talking about, Book of Enoch?
Well, no, that's the bastardized version. Yes, but
isn't there there's the science of the soul and science of the soul, science of the atom, science of sound.
Well, that's music, yeah. It's grammar, rhetoric, logic, arithmetic, geometry, music, and astronomy. That's what the 7 sacred sciences are. And there's all a bunch of things in those categories. So basically everything you learn today, all the sciences you learn, all that stuff, it's the bastardized version of the real side of them. You know what I mean? Because there's a everything you gotta understand. Everything in the occultic world, like the Luciferian world, is a perverted, direct perverted mirror image of what God teaches. God says, you shall not have other gods before me. Satan says, you can be like God. When God says, I'm the only God. And Satan says, no, there's other gods. You could be like God too. You know, so everything's a direct mirror image of the real truth.
So then why didn't he fix all that with the flood?
He did for a while, but the thing is, that's why he didn't allow Cain, because people wanted to kill Cain because he did to Abel.
But he didn't. Cain didn't survive the flood. Cain's offspring didn't survive the flood. Nobody.
I didn't say he did. I didn't say he did. He in his progeny, his generation, built hieroglyphics and tombs to preserve the perverted sacred 7 knowledges. And later on, when Noah and his family populated the earth again, and the Bible says there was Nephilim before the flood and after the flood. So obviously, some of the Nephilim, not the people, the Nephilim survived the flood. Some of them.
Wow, and God must not be all powerful then.
There's no Nephilim here today. Nephilim still exists.
There's a specific reason.
Nephilim 3.
There's a specific reason behind that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so God got rid of all of the sin and the evil and everything on the earth, except for this handful. Okay,
we got to start wrapping up.
Well, he did that for a reason.
I'm setting up the after show now, guys. So we have to wrap this up because I can't finalize that until this is done.
Dan, we got to wrap up, but thank you for coming on, and I'm gonna give you a chance now to say whatever you would, like a final thought, wrap up your thoughts, your positions, plug your show, anything you want to do like that, and.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on the show, and anytime you want me on, please let me know, and thank you, Trevor, for this debate, whatever, and man, but I don't hate you, man, or nothing like that. I just pray for you, man, because you really need to open your eyes to the truth. And I'm not saying you're stupid and anything like that. I'm not saying that. You just need to redirect your mind to the real truth called the Holy Bible and the real reality in the world. But I just want everybody, my show is truthradioshow.com. You get all my listings and links and everything else, my Twitter, all that stuff is all on that page. And other than that, I just ask people, don't listen to me. I don't want people even listen to a word out of my mouth. I want you to challenge me. Go look this stuff up yourself. And hey, you need to find the truth for your own. Not listen to me, Dan Bidondi, or Trevor either. Go look it up for yourself. And this is the only truth I have. Plain and simple.
All right, well, Dan, you are invited to the after show, and I will challenge you on everything you said in this particular hangout, because everything you said was just unbelievably wrong. I mean, your wrongness wasn't even wrong; it was so wrong. It was
if you need
levels of wrongness.
I'll send you the link for that too. I've got to close out. I've got to close out on this.
No, hold on. Well,
go ahead.
If you want to have me on again, and me and you could talk about this, so people could hear it, not just the after party.
Oh no, the after show's also.
What the after party's for?
So
yeah, that's what
if you
the
want
after
to
party's
have a
for.
show, me and you, I'm more welcome to it.
Okay.
So I gotta
cool.
get to work an hour. But
All right,
thank
man.
you all for
That's
having me on.
understandable. That's understandable.
Thank you.
Sure.
Bye,
Thank you,
Dan.
man.
Appreciate it.
God bless you guys.
Okay, so I need to. I need to put in a new input. Steve or Trevor, actually, wrap up your thoughts. I've got to have a second to get another call in here because we're gonna have a guest speaker real quick. But
I
go ahead.
can't, man. That was
painful,
a garbage fire of idiocy. I mean, I knew it would be bad, but fuck all.
Dude,
Holy
he's
shit.
like the George Luzak younger, dumber version. You know?
Oh my
It's
God.
just-
No, I mean, the only thing I can say is everybody, every single fucking sane, reasonable, educated person out there, this is why we fight. Because people like Dan are out there spreading this information. This is why I am hashtag angry Scientologist. This is why this shit happens. This is why the Non-Sequitur show exists. This is why I love these dudes. You got to get in on this. It's like, I understand that some scientists out there, you have jobs with like social media rules and this, that, the other thing. I got nothing to lose. I'm a freelancer. I'm bitching that way. But holy crap, even if you could do it anonymously or anything, we are in trouble, man. There is a war on science. And that, I know some of you are going to say, why'd you give Dan a vehicle? Because I want to show you guys the threat. This is real. There are people really like this. And I'm half terrified and half hysterically just giggly right now. And I don't know
how much do you think that he's actually like that, though? I mean, with all honesty, it's hard to tell when somebody's that level of dumb. Right? You don't know it's an act. You don't know.
That's the crazy thing. So on Twitter, it could totally be an act. On his shows, it could totally be an act. That's why I wanted to see him live. I wanted to see him off the cuff. Holy fuck. He really is like that. I mean, I thought he was trying to like reestablish his brand or something, but motherfucker, he's an absolute certifiable 100% unicorn. He believes it all.
You were not making digital Hammurabi watch this stuff.
No,
I've been here for about 20 minutes. That was fascinating.
The lovely people at Digital Hammurabi are going to make it a very important announcement. I figured that she could do it probably a lot better than I could, so I would just bring her on real quick and let her make that announcement.
Hi, everyone. Trevor, you did a great job. I'm really sorry, but that was very impressive.
We love Trevor. Look at the love.
I'm Megan. For those who don't know me, Dr. Josh is in the background folding laundry. I'm one half of Digital Hammurabi. We're an educational YouTube channel that try really hard to fight against the kind of stuff that you guys have just sat through for 2 hours. So, yeah. And we are here because we're actually just launched our scholarship campaign. We've been fundraising for the past 6 months or so through our Patreon account to get enough money to basically give $2,000 to a PhD student so they can carry out summer research, if that's going out and excavating, if it's staying home and going through museum archives, or just writing their dissertation to try and actually, real research, do scholarly research, and bring that research of the grant is that all applicants and then all successful applicants have to come on and explain their research to our audience and give non-specialists a chance to interact with them and with what they do. So we've been fundraising for 6 months. We have $1,300 already. By the time we have to start giving money out, we'll be up to about $3,500, which is really exciting. Yeah. And we're actually going to take a bit of a risk and say that we'll fund 2 students, which is a total of $4,000. So we've started a fundraising campaign today to try and just raise that $500 extra. So I am here to ask you if you have any spare money, if you feel like watching some really great historical research unfold in front of your eyes and being able